More on the McGahn story now. Tom Dupree is a former Deputy Assistant Attorney General under President George W. Bush. Thank you so much for talking to us. Sarah Sanders, in a podcast with ABC, talked about how, when asked whether or not McGahn will comply with Democrats' request for a subpoena, and she replied, "I don't anticipate that takes place." Would that be a mistake for McGahn?
Well, I'll say this. It certainly exposes them to some legal risk. I suspect that if McGahn follows the White House's instructions, refuses to cooperate, refuses to testify, refuses to produce documents, that the Democrats are not going away. They have made clear that they want to put as many people in jail as they can. They want to just take them to the mat on this. So I think what we will see is we will see a legal battle between the White House's claims of executive privilege, the Democrats' demands for disclosure, and that ultimately will get propelled into a federal court for resolution. House
Judiciary Chairman Gerald Nadler, he has subpoenaed the ex-White House counsel, Don McGahn, to testify publicly next month following the release of Mueller's report on the Russia investigation. Now, Nadler describes McGahn, who just stepped down from the White House, as we all may remember, counsel in October of 2018, as a critical witness, and this is a quote, to many of the alleged instances of obstruction of justice. So clearly they are going after the obstruction card here, since the collusion card kind of didn't play so well, right? The question is, will Democrats cite McGahn with contempt as well?
Well, if McGahn refuses to appear and answer their questions, I suspect that would be the next card that they will play. What's interesting from my perspective is that clearly the Democrats are zeroing in on Volume 2 of the Mueller report. As you point out, they want to get to the bottom of this obstruction. They want to talk to McGahn. They want to ask McGahn what the president asked him to do, what the president pressured him to do. And they're basically trying to fill in the gaps in the Mueller report. I think Mueller and his team did a very thorough job. The Democrats aren't satisfied. They want to see if there's more information that they can squeeze out of Don McGahn.
All right. I want to talk about Ken Starr's comments on the story last night with Martha McCallum about how he refers to that letter that Bob Mueller later sent in reaction to Barr's summary, calling it whiny and basically calling it unforgivable. What do you make, first of all, of the leak when Barr was simply trying to do his job and then Mueller behind the scenes is now ripping him to shreds for it? What did he expect him to do?
Yeah, Julie, it was a bit of a surprise to me, frankly, because the one thing I will say about the Mueller investigation is that, for the most part, throughout the investigation, they kept a lid on these leaks. They weren't trying to work the press in the back room. That seems to have changed a little bit, and that's what surprised me. When that letter came out the night before Barr's testimony, that was obviously a strategically timed leak done for political purposes. I think it was inconsistent with the way that the special counsel investigation had been run, and I think from the perspective of the leakers, it did its work. I mean, certainly the back and forth between Mueller and Barr and the accusations that Barr was shading the truth, that's really what dominated the hearing, at least from the perspective of the Democrats.
All right, Tom Dupree, that's all the time we have, but we appreciate you coming in. Jam-packed hour.
Thank you.